Hey everybody, how's it going today? I'm gonna turn this music down or off or something. I like it, but I don't think it's good for talking. I want some like lo-fi music whenever I'm hanging out and talking. Just something to kind of be upbeat is nice, but looks like I started on this one. Did I stop because it was struck? I think whatever I needed it for, it was too low. Oh, it says Lo-Fi Geek in the corner, but it's not on their site. So I think that person just ripped it off. So we're just going to step away from that one. Let's come back to the tried and true. We'll just pick up where we left off on this 11, almost 12 hour video and listen to that. So, what are we going to be doing today? Well, it's Groundhog's Day, so first we're going to check out and see if your mystical weather identifying creature was able to identify the weather. I'm also planning on taking a political compass style test thing. And then after that we'll look at the news and stuff. Give me just 1 second. Again, just as I start up, I start feeling really stuffy. Ooh, what a way to start. I feel like I have to do that every time. So yeah, I don't think I've got a lot to say before jumping into it. This is also going to be a shorter stream, probably something like 3 to 4 hours instead of a 6 to 8 hour stream. So sorry if you were expecting a lot more today, but that's the deal. That's them shakes, you know. So let's head on over here, and we're going to go to, I saved it, the 9-axis test. If you want to do this, it's 9axes.github.io. Let's make sure that this is big enough that people can read it. So the reason I'm doing this test, and you know, we'll get rid of the chat box until I have chatters in here, so it's not just a big black box hovering over my head for a while. You know, before we get into that here, let's stay focused. Groundhog's Day. See if somebody has the answer. What did we get? Puxatawny Phil, the world's most famous weather predicting groundhog. Yeah. Just let me see. Alright, 6 more weeks of winter. He saw his shadow. The mythical ground varmin has predicted the weather, and it's going to be a lot more winter, so just prepare for it. Alright, so now let's focus back on this. So what is the 9 axes? So 9 axes based off the 8 values is a political compass quiz, and if they're talking about the 8 values, I'm going to guess that is... I thought it was the Jonathan Haidt thing, but maybe not. But it's basically a comparison. It's like a bunch of slider bars. So you have federal versus unitary, democratic versus authoritarian, globalist versus isolationist, militarist versus pacifist, security versus freedom, equality versus markets, secular versus religious, progressive versus tradition, assimilationist versus multiculturalist. I felt like this would be a little bit better than just doing the 4-quadrant political compass test, but well, we might do that one too after this and test this one out. Just because I think this is going to be a little bit better, but I guess we'll find out. Oh gosh, 216 questions or 45 questions. I think we'll do fine with the 45 question one, you know? I don't think it needs to be that accurate. And now I guess we just say strongly agree, agree, neutral, disagree, or strongly disagree based off of how we would answer this. International trade is generally beneficial. Well, I feel like I'd strongly agree with that. I feel like being able to mutually agree to giving things to each other is beneficial for all parties involved. So, yeah. Subdivisions should not be able to exempt from national laws. I would disagree with that because I think the way that you should structure society, based off of what I know, is to have like some very top level laws and rules, and then the more you go down, the more nuanced and direct they get. Kind of like if you're looking at the rules for Magic the Gathering, you have your like overall rules, then you have like your mechanical rules, and then your individual card rules. And individual card rules trump everything else. Like at that lowest level, they're the most powerful thing dictating the rules because they make the exceptions somewhere else. So no, I feel like that's not right. Subdivisions should be able to exempt from national laws. They should be able to have some differentiation there. However, I don't think it's as concrete, because then otherwise you basically lose all sovereignty at the national level, because you have to be able to exercise some amount of control over the smaller ones. But I think there's some wiggle room there, so I think I can slightly disagree with that, not strongly disagree. Give me just 1 second here. I'm gonna take a pause and then also probably restart this test so I can record it. I've been mute this whole time. We're gonna have to start over again. Oh man, the triple threat. Oh, I just realized. Oh, this is going off to a great start. We got a great show for you today. Oh, all right, let's take a moment because that whole time I was sniffing and snuffling. So let's get my nose out of the way first. Well, you know what they say, third time's the charm, right? Oh, that's what I have to say to that. Let me breathe through this infernal nose. That's all I want. I don't want to sound like I'm holding my nose the whole time I'm talking. Alright, here we go again. Hitting the recording button. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Otherholm channel. This is EOTidus speaking, and we're going to be taking the 9-axis political compass test. Why are we doing this? Because I'm about to do a bunch of political content or talk about the news, and I felt like before I really dug into that, I should probably give you guys an idea of where I stand, and what better way of doing that than some quick online quizzes that obviously are totally accurate and not at all a little bit silly in some ways. This one though I think is a little bit better than a lot of the others just because there's so many different values to look at here. If you want to pause the video and take a look, we've got federal versus unitary, democratic versus authoritarian, globalist versus isolationist, militarist versus pacifist, security versus freedom, equality versus markets, secular versus religious, progressive versus traditional, and assimilationist versus multiculturalist. So what we're going to do is take this test. We're going to take the short version because I value your time and my own. And this totally isn't the third time I've started this video because of various problems. So let's just jump into this. The way this works is that it'll give us a question or a statement, and then we have to either strongly agree, give a neutral, unsure answer, disagree, or strongly disagree. And then based off of that, we'll kind of have an idea of where I would fall in your political ideologies. So let's see. Law should be completely consistent within all regions of a nation. I'm gonna have to disagree with that because different geographical areas in a nation are going to have different necessities for their legal frameworks. That could be strictly because of the geography, so certain things could be safe and others they wouldn't be. You could be talking about cultural differences and what people value. I don't think laws need to be completely consistent within all regions of a nation. I don't even think that's a light disagree. I think that's a strong disagree, because if you think that they need to be completely consistent, then I think you're asking for problems there. Most bad things happen in the world are caused by us turning away from religion. Well, I'm going to take the us here with a grain of salt because it's mostly you, but if I were a participant in this, I would say most likely not. I don't think most bad things happen because turning away from religion. Considering that before modern time, it seems like you guys had a very iron grip on religion controlling the world, and there seemed to be a lot of bad things then. So I think going with this is a strong disagree. Religion does not belong in government. Well, obviously if you have a theocracy, then you're going to need religion in your government, but I'm guessing it's asking if I think that a religious, aspect needs to be in the government. While I don't have any religious tendencies myself, I think that it's good to have people from different perspectives as part of the government. Just as long as the government doesn't, what would be the best way of putting it? Like, show favoritism to one religion or the other. So at the same time though, I feel like as soon as you introduce religion to government, then that starts giving religions more power, and that's a little bit scary, to be honest. Because I personally think that a lot of religious thinking leads to some kind of, well, it's very general, so please don't apply this equally to all religious people and institutions, but I think it's very irrational, and putting religion in government kind of like validates it further and gives people a reason to be more irrational. So does religion does not belong in the government? I want to mostly agree on. I don't strongly agree on it, but I feel like religion doesn't really have a place other than the people that have religious beliefs should be able to take part in the government. But I don't think that really is the heart of what this is asking. I think this means like, you know, should religion be enshrined in legislation or something like that? Should it not be, as in? So I'm going to agree. Children should be educated in religious values. Wow, this test really cares a lot about religion. I don't think should be. I don't think it's necessarily wrong to raise children with religious values, you know, given that you temper it with reasonable expectations. But I think that might be a lot to ask from certain religious institutions. I'm going to take a light disagree on this one, because I don't think that you should completely censor out all religious views, but I don't see an inherent value in rearing a child with religious values, especially when some religions out there seem to have some very toxic views of the world and raising children, and it could stunt their intellectual and emotional growth. Nations should cooperate whenever it benefits them both. I feel like that's a strong agree. You know, nations cooperating whenever it benefits them both can be a bad thing for their populations if the people at the top are kind of the ones deciding if it benefits them both, because it could just be benefiting this like aristocratic class of people and hurting all the plebeians. But I think if we're talking in generalities here, or if we're not talking about kind of half-truths there with what counts as benefiting them both, then I would have to say strong agree. Taxes should be increased on the rich to provide for the poor. Increased from what they are now. I mean, being from outside of your system here, I know a lot about it, and I've even had to pay taxes, seeing as I've made some money over the internet in my time spending on it. So I do have a little bit of experience with that. But should it be increased on the rich to provide for the poor? I want to say a light agree on this. It's just that usually the way in which the taxes are implemented on the rich, and how those taxes are used to pay for the poor, are the contentious thing here. Because while I do think you could do this fine, the people in power don't seem to be able to. So I'm going to give a light agree to that. Democracy makes it too easy for a majority to further itself at the expense of minorities. I want to immediately agree with that, because I feel like that happens a lot. That's why you have to have something like the Bill of Rights or some other like check to the balance of power democracy can cause. Because that's true. Democracy is just looking for plurality or majority in order to make its decisions, which immediately could be something that's used as a bludgeon against minorities. So if you're looking at different forms of participation in your government, democracy seems all right, but you have to be able to honestly look at the drawbacks to it. And one of them is that a majority can exercise a lot of power over minorities. Makes it too easy though. Alone, yes, but if you have other checks on it. But I can make a light agree with that, because I think that's a factual understanding of the shortcomings of democracy. Illegal immigrants do not provide a benefit to the hosting country. I'm going to say no to that, because the only thing I think they really don't provide, just generally speaking, of course, because it's not going to be clearly all of them, is the income tax or certain kinds of taxes. Other than that, you know, you have people showing up, they're providing their labor, they're spending money in the economy. As long as they assimilate into the society, then you're bulking up the culture. So I want to give a disagree to this. It could be a strong disagree though, because if the only thing you care about is taxation for these people, then you would have to do some amount of agreeing. But since I don't think that's like the sole defining benefit to a hosting country, I think there's so many other ways that illegal immigrants contribute to a country that I would have to disagree. I guess the only other thing I would really say that they're a detriment to is maybe security. Your average run-of-the-mill illegal immigrant is not going to be, a terrorist or something, but the lack of enforcement of the border and your naturalization laws mean that it's going to be easier for malicious actors to participate. So I think for that reason, I'm just going to do like a light disagree instead of a strong disagree, but it's on the border there. Capitalism is better than any existing alternative. Well, let's see. Existing alternatives to capitalism are hard, especially because capitalism does a very good job of incorporating other people and even their systems into it. For example, if you're talking about socialism, where workers own the means of production and democratize the workspace, you could still have that within the capitalist system. You can still have businesses that operate that way while living in a capitalist system. So it's very accommodating, like it doesn't seem to impose that. It's mostly just about the ownership of private capital. And as long as you have that and some kind of system to enforce property rights, it seems to allow a lot of other things to exist inside of it. So I try to be open to as many different ideas that you humans come up with, and I haven't seen one that I think I resonate with more than capitalism. It seems to be the best one. So I want to give a strong agree here. I'm just trying to think if there's anything that would move me away from it. Because I know there are problems with capitalism, just like we just talked with democracy. There's things like the accumulation of wealth becomes easier the more wealthy you are, so it kind of does this snowball thing. Obviously, there's limited resources, so when that happens, then you end up with some haves and some have-nots. But at least it seems like the people that are incapable of actually utilizing that capital in a way that benefits society end up not holding on to it for extreme lengths of time, compared to other systems where it seems that you end up with oligarchs that just hold on to it. Not to say that that's perfectly how it works, but I can't think of anything else that has better trade-offs than capitalism. Diplomacy only hurts nations. What? I don't really understand this, because I feel like diplomacy can hurt or help. Obviously, if you fail a diplomatic conversation or something, it can hurt your nation. Or you could decide on something diplomatically, but it ends up hurting you in the long run because of various factors. But for the most part, this is like saying talking only hurts nations, and I would have to disagree with that. I'd say strongly disagree with that, because I think there's obvious benefits to diplomacy. Maybe that's like a naive outlook, or there's something that I'm missing there, or maybe I have a misunderstanding of the definition of diplomacy, but I feel like there's some obvious benefits that can come out of it. The wealthy have far more than they need. Well, yeah, I think whenever you're wealthy, you live in excess of your needs. To some extent, there's an increase in your needs as you increase in wealth, simply to protect that wealth. So let's say in a completely just and meritocratic system where somebody has gained and accumulated an amount of wealth that is in excess of their needs, Well, if anybody knows about that, then they're going to start trying to trick them, scam them, find ways to get that money off of them. And they need to expend some of that wealth in security and protections to keep other people from unjustly taking it from them. So a wealthy person could have more needs as far as securing their private property. But other than that, I feel like an increase in your wealth leads to people living more luxury, and that means they're living far more excessive than they need to. So I'm gonna have to agree with that. Not a strong agree, because I think there is some kind of proportionality there to how much more wealthy you get and the things you need to spend on to maintain that wealth and protect it. And even if you want to be as charitable as possible and give it away to as many people, you have to be careful not to be scammed out of it, and that takes time and research and money. So it just feeds into itself pretty well. People should think of themselves as citizens of their nation rather than their state. Can't you do both? If we're talking more or less, I feel like nation more than state. I do feel like there should be more importance put on the local level than on the national level, just because at the local level you like live, breathe, and see each other, which I think is way more cohesive. You like, whenever you see people talking online, they always bring in this huge bravado and their huge exorbitant personalities, but then a lot of them, once you sit them down face to face with someone else, they immediately temper their rhetoric to something more palatable. And that's because those face-to-face interactions, it's harder to like glomp all of the stereotypes of the others that you have on them. So I feel like people acting at a local level is a little bit better than at the state or national level. But since this is asking about nations and states, I would like to say state over nation. But I also think a national identity is very important too, like that hierarchy of authority. But I think if I'm going to be consistent and honest here, I think the state identity is more important than the nation identity. Because I think you should care more about the people immediately around you than those far away. Because if everybody did that, then most places would be a lot better. But if you concern yourself with everyone far away and leave everything around you messed up, then it makes it easier for everyone to pretend like it'll just get better if we keep the shoveling responsibility at a national level. So I'm going to take a slight disagree on this. But it's not by much. You know, I could have taken a neutral stance on that, but I'm trying to avoid that so I can get some more answers because we're doing the short quiz instead of the long quiz. We should respect those who have served in our military. Well, I don't have a lot of personal experience with wars and whatnot. I do know what it's like to be on constant alert for people to attack you and hunt you down. So if there's other people that have been in that situation compared to the rest of society that really hasn't, I feel like they deserve some amount of respect, especially in situations where they literally did defend the nation from an aggressor that was just trying to take their resources. I think people that put themselves in harm's way to protect other people should be respected for that. This obviously doesn't account for individual scumbags who did this and were probably awesome for doing so, but then let that respect go to their head or that power go to their head. But I don't think that's part of the question here. I think it's asking just on merit, respecting those that serve to protect and defend your country. So I would have to strongly agree with that because that's a big sacrifice to make. The general populace makes poor decisions. Oh God. I don't know about that because a part of me, obviously, the laugh kind of gives it away. I mean, it does seem like a lot of humans make some really shitty decisions, but at the same time, a lot of them make good. And I think the problem here is that, like, if you ask somebody who's a car mechanic how to, take care of their body and be healthy, it's probably going to be full of some pretty bad ideas of safety and health. But if you ask them, how to keep your car well maintained, they're of course going to give you like a 10,000 page essay on why people don't know how to take care of their cars and what they could do to do it better. So when you're talking about like generally making decisions, I think, yeah, as a mass, you can have a lot of very uninformed people making decisions on things that they're not informed on. Because if everyone has their own specialties, then that means the only people really qualified to talk on any subject is such a small segment of the population. And the rest of the population is almost completely dependent on their expertise in that field. And there's a lot of general mistrust of each other. So that leads people making some very uninformed choices. So the general populace makes poor decisions. I think I'm gonna have to take a light degree on. I think that's just like a statistical analysis of what the outcomes of general population decisions are. A military option should always be considered. In what context? Wait, what? I don't think it should always be considered. Like if we're talking about like I can't even think of anything. Well, obviously if you need to like protect some territory or intervene in some way in an aggressive action, then yeah, the military should be considered. I know there's like natural disasters and stuff, and I know the National Guard, at least for America, gets called in on that a lot. So if that's a military option, sure, that should be considered. But if you're talking about like, I'm trying to think of a very puerile piece of legislation, like, oh, everyone's talking about like the banning of books and stuff. If a school decides to remove a book from a piece of curriculum, should the military option be considered? No. If we're talking about, hey, should we need to enforce some kind of traffic law in this area because there's a lot of high-speed accidents that happen here. Should you consider the military for it? Like, those are some extreme examples of trying to use the military, but this is kind of extremely vague. So I'm just going to take a light disagree with that because I don't think it should always be considered. But there's obviously times that you need to consider a military option. It is necessary for the government to intervene in the economy to protect consumers. Well, sometimes I think that is true. I don't think that's an all the time true situation, but I think there are times when other governments can interfere with your economy in a way that hurts your consumers. So a government intervening in their intervention, him, me, is sometimes going to be necessary. Otherwise, you end up with one government being able to completely take advantage of another because of their unwillingness to intervene in the economy. The immediate thing that I want to caveat that with is, if you have enough conscious consumers in your markets, then I don't think the government would need to intervene, because if people understood how they were being manipulated by outside agents and they were to address those by changing their consumption habits, then you wouldn't need to have a government intervene. It wouldn't be a necessity. So part of me wants to say disagree, because it's not a necessity if you have a knowledgeable population. But we just talked about how the general population makes poor decisions because people are specialized in their fields, and not everybody's going to understand what is poor consumption behaviors when being manipulated by outside agents. So I'm going to say a light agree there. Genetic modification should be used rarely, if ever. I think that has more to do with modern issues with it. I'm going to take a drink real fast. excuse me, because I feel like the apprehensions people have about genetic modification just comes from it being a relatively new field, and also it's got spooky implications to it. Where, like, you know, 100 years ago there wasn't a lot of genetic modification because I don't even think the double helix DNA strand was found yet. But then shortly after that, you know, you started having the agricultural boom where genetically modified crops started popping up everywhere, and really making it so that a very small percentage of the population had to participate in agriculture in order for the entire population to be fed. So I'm going to have to take a strong disagree on this, because I feel like most of your modern world wouldn't be as comfortable as it is without having genetic modification, and the word has just become kind of a scary boogeyman. And the more you guys get along with it, I think the easier it's going to be to see its necessity. So I'm going to strongly disagree with that. It should be used more often. National cultures are important to protect. I'm not sure about that one. Because on one hand, yeah, I understand the importance of a national culture to people. It's like your identity, it's your history, your heritage, your ancestry. All of that stuff is wrapped up in a national culture. And wanting to protect that and preserve that is pretty nice. It's like, you know, staring out on a scenery with a blanket of snow on it. You just wish it would stay that way, and then seeing some things like run across it, or like maybe some cars or something, and leaving tire tracks. So like, oh no, it's ruined. But at the same time, the cultures are only the way they are now because of all the transformations they've gone over the years. Like, if you look at any nation right now, 400 years ago is going to be drastically different from the one now. And that's because it builds off one another. Especially whenever you start getting this like cross-pollination between nations, and you get refugees from one place and they come over, migrants and everything like that. Wars are fought, new territories are claimed, things are absorbed, nations split apart. Like, all of these changes influence those cultures. So it might feel nice to preserve it right now, but in the long run, it's probably going to be one of your avoidance of change is going to be something that influences that culture, or the acceptance of change will influence that culture. So do I think it's important to protect? I don't think consciously and actively. I think there are some things that it's okay to protect, but in general, I'm going to disagree with that. It's a good idea to test a policy in one state rather than implementing it nationwide right away. Well, my immediate thought is strongly agree, because I feel like that's kind of like the scientific approach to anything, is starting with like a scaled down version of something and seeing how it works, and then upping the scale and then testing that, and then upping the scale and testing that. I think you do that with all forms of engineering. You should be doing that with the engineering of policy, I feel like. So I'm going to take a strong agree with that. A nation must obey its leadership without question. Ooh, my immediate thought is a strong disagree with that. I feel like trusting a person in authority over you is immediately something I'm skeptical of. Anyone who's in a position of authority is going to be enticed to exploit it for personal benefit. That just seems to be the way it is. Anyone who has power has the ability to use that power in ways that harm other people. And so you have to almost always be skeptical of their motivations and have some kind of counterbalance to whatever power they have so that you can keep them in check. So a nation must obey its leadership without question. Gonna take a strong disagree on that. Religious clothing should be banned from public. No. Like, I understand people might not like certain religious views, but I kind of have it's not a soft spot. I don't want to call it a hard spot, but like, censorship kind of gets me mad. Because not only are you like removing somebody's ability to express something, you're removing my ability to hear them out or to understand their perspective by removing it from the public eye. So yeah, I feel like if somebody has some religious clothing, they should be able to wear it, just as long as they're not forcing it on other people or the government is mandating that you dress yourself in religious attire. So we're going to have to take a strong disagree on that one. Some freedom must be given up in order to keep people safe. Oh, well, immediately what comes to mind is that like Ben Franklin quote of people that give up freedom for security will get neither and deserve neither, or something like that. That said, that's kind of a very absolute statement because, you know, there is some amount of freedom that has to be given up to keep people safe. Like, you can't have the freedom to just do extrajudicial murders on people because you want to enact some kind of vigilante justice. Because as soon as you have that, people are not going to be safe from people exercising that that justice on them. Especially if people have very strong disagreements over what would be justice in those situations. So some freedom must be given up in order to keep people safe. I would have to agree with that. Nations fighting among each other gets in the way of progress. Not necessarily, because if it's a bunch of nations that want progress and some nations that want to get in the way of it, you might have to fight to get the progress you want. If it's talking about in general, I don't think so, because it just depends on what you're fighting over. The general idea of fighting getting in the way of progress, maybe, because you're putting resources towards annihilating one another. You're going to be displacing people and causing new problems that you have to solve then. So fighting can get in the way of progress. But that dip in, like if you were looking at progress as something that you put productivity towards in order to increase it, that increase might be getting stifled by some nation getting in the way, and others will need to fight it so that you can get that growth even faster. So I want to say I agree because, you know, immediately it could be stopping it, but I think there's an understanding that an exception would be if a nation is prohibiting others' progress and they need to fight them to ensure that they can get the progress they want. But in general, I agree. The government should not regulate the economy at all. I think that goes back to the previous statement about like government intervention in the economy. While I think it's possible for a group of people to be conscious consumers and avoid the pitfalls that come with free markets and stuff, not everybody is an expert. Not everybody is going to have the knowledge necessary to make well-informed decisions in the economy. And because of that, you basically need to have experts intervening and doing stuff. So should not regulate the economy at all? I would have to disagree. I think there should be some amount of intervention there on behalf of other people. Anybody who wants to enter the country should be able to. Sure. I mean, as long as the requirements for naturalization aren't dependent on factors you can never overcome, then sure. I think if it were me personally, I think just having a unified language and an understanding of like civic requirements is basically all you need to participate in the country. So having a common language makes sure that everybody can easily participate in it. Assimilation would be better. Just having a common language for your country helps it be more cohesive. And then after that, you just basically need to understand how the legal structure works so you stay out of jail and don't have a reasonable expectation to not know the laws. Because if the laws are written in that universal language and you've already been naturalized, you should know what they are. So I think I'd go with a strong agree on that. Anybody enter the country. I guess if I'm looking at this from bad agents though, if you have people that are traitors to your country or actively want to wish harm on it or have been violent to it in the past, and they've been like exiled from the country, should they be able to enter the country? No. No, I think the exceptions there are people that have been prohibited because of their actions taken against the country should not be able to enter the country, at least until those issues are resolved in some way. So we're going to give that, I'm going to give it a strong agree, because I think those exemptions are very specific and out there, like crimes against a country. Because even if you have like two countries that go to war, and then in the aftermath, you might have some people that want to move from the aggressive country to the one that was sieged. I don't think you should hold those people accountable for it, even if they were like participating in the military action, because people's opinions and thoughts on countries change after you're out of war. Not always and not instantly, but it does happen. So I'll take a strong agree there. Whistleblowers should be strongly protected. Well, yeah, my immediate thoughts are yes, because somebody who has insider information and wants the general public to know that something bad is going on under their noses, those people should be protected, because what they're doing is very brave. And if there's any kind of blowback on them, that would be terrible, because they're trying to do a service to basically all mankind by sticking up for the people that don't know. So I feel a strong agree there. Only those who served in the military should be able to gain power in the government. I'm gonna have to take a strong disagree on that as well. I understand the importance of giving the, I think if we're going by like Starship Troopers standards, the right to franchise being something only given out to people that have shown their willingness to sacrifice themselves for the country, so that you don't have people in power that are selfish. You know, these are people that are willing to sacrifice themselves for the good of the country. So I kind of understand that perspective, but at the same time, I feel like there is a necessity to have experts in fields that required lifetime commitments to them, where you didn't have military time. That can be anything from like a legal position like lawyers to academic like scholars, and even tradesmen and engineers, scientists, things like that. Having those people in power helps give a perspective to policy decision, because military people could understandably act selflessly and with the best intentions of the nation in mind, but that doesn't mean that they have the expertise to implement legislation that does that. So I think you need to have other people there. So we're going to take a strong disagree on that. Only extremely talented immigrants, if that, should be permitted to enter the country. I understand this position, because I know that what you want to do with immigrants is have some really high-skilled people come in. But also having low-skill labor come into the country helps lower the cost of living, and that can help balance out inflation and do a lot of other benefits for your country. So I don't think only extremely talented immigrants should be permitted to enter the country. I think there is some benefits to having a mixed bag of it. A bunch of low-skilled labor and a bunch of high-skilled labor coming in at the same time would be preferable to just one or the other. So I'm going to take a strong disagree on that. We're at 29 out of 45, only 16 away. Local governments can understand their citizens better than the national government could. I want to take a strong agree on that, because I feel like local governments are made up, of course, of local people, and local people are going to know their locale better than those at the national level. At the same time, though, people who have worked at the national level are going to know more about the workings of the nation and its place in the international community more than governments at a local level. So you can't just say that the only important thing is the local level, because then you're disregarding the entire upper part of the hierarchy. But with this, I can agree. Local governments can understand their citizens better than the national government, because it is a smaller scope and made up of those very people. When you're talking about a national government, you're going to have people in one area making decisions for people in another without ever really understanding them. So we're going to take a strong agree on that one. The more people asked, the better chance there is of reaching the best decision. Not necessarily, because that kind of falls back on what I said about the general population. There's a lot of specialization in human society where people are very good at a small handful of things. So if you ask a lot of people in a field about something, then there'll be a better chance of reaching a decision. But if you ask a lot of people in the general population, then the voices of the expert are going to be drowned out by the voices of the uninformed. And that's especially strong whenever you incorporate like the Dunning-Kruger effect into it, where people with the slightest amount of expertise in a subject think they are super confident in their ability to talk about it, but they aren't, which seems to happen a lot. So I would have to take a slight disagree with that. The more people ask, the better chance there is of reaching the best decision. I would say disagree, because I think you're also getting a lot of people that are outside their field of knowledge giving input into something they don't really understand. Human-caused climate change is currently one of the greatest threats to our way of life. We're going to take R with a grain of salt since, you know, I'm not there, but if I were there, I think it is something to worry about. Obviously the impact on the ecosystem, we talked about this in another video, but like just changing the global temperature by ½ degree doesn't seem that bad, because most people are like, well, you know, it changes 20 degrees between morning and night for me and there's no big deal. What's a ½ degree change in global temperature? The problem is that there's a lot of chemistry in the environment, and when you talk about a ½ degree change, you're talking about a huge impact, because you're talking about much more than just an individual person. The example I think I gave last time was the amount of oxygen that can be saturated in water based off of the temperature, which obviously affects how much oxygen fish and other bio-life can, or marine life can use in the water. It's going to massively impact a lot of their behaviors and the places that they live and they feed. I think it also affects the salinity of the, you know, the water, the salt content of water, and also how much it can absorb greenhouse gases, because, you know, water, just like how it absorbs oxygen, can also absorb the other carbon emissions. So changing the global temperature by ½ degree can cause a very large scale change in the way that the chemistry of the earth works. So I think it is a very large threat to your way of life. The only thing I would temper that with is you guys are very adaptive, so even if there was a huge ecological fallout, I wouldn't be surprised if your use of technology would allow you to survive it with relative comfort. Because I think you guys are really good at adapting. But I think that does change your way of life. So if we're talking about threats to your way of life, I would have to say it is one of the biggest threats. So we're going to take, I want to say a strong agree, simply because I do think it's one of the greatest threats that you currently are facing. But it's hard to focus on that when there's so many other things going on in the world, and to actually impact this, you would have to do a lot. But I guess that's more like what the cure would be, more than recognizing the harm. So strong agree here. Automation overall is extremely good for society. Ooh, that's a tough one. We'll take a drink before this. Okay, so automation is good in that it raises productivity for a person. If you have like 40 people on an assembly line putting together parts to something, and you can replace them all with robots and have like maybe 6 engineers that just maintain the robots, then obviously that's going to be very productive. The problem is the displacement of labor. Now you have people that were trained in one profession and now that's obsolete and they need to be retrained or start over as low-skilled labor in a different industry. And that has negative consequences to it. However, I think if you're able to adequately address that displacement, then there isn't really a negative with automation. I think overall is extremely good for society is a fair statement to make that I would strongly agree with. The problem is that you just need to have some way of retraining people who are now considered obsolete because of this innovation. But I feel like that's not automation's fault. That's more of a fault of society in general. So, you know, if another part of your society is able to take on this issue, then no problem. You got it. We should put effort into getting a person on Mars in the near future. Again, we is a grain of salt here, but do I think you guys should put more effort into getting a person on Mars in the near future? I feel like so. It's not a strong agree. I don't think that's like a super important thing, but I think the process of exploration and what is it, like being on the frontier, pushing out into unexplored territory. I know that you've put rovers on Mars and unmanned drones and stuff, but trying to push humanity outside of their comfort zone into doing new things seems to get you guys to do some really cool stuff. So trying to get a person on Mars and trying to overcome the challenges of doing that, I think would help you guys get spurred along a lot further in your hunt for more technology. So I would agree with that. It's not a strong agree because there's also other ways to get that motivation. Getting a person on Mars isn't like tantamount, but it's something good to strive for, I think. Border protection is important. Yes, because part of being a country is enforcing your territory so that the people that live within it can... Excuse me, I didn't know the juice would make me gassy. Because, you know, protecting your citizens and making sure that they can live comfortably within your territory without fear of an outside nation attacking or hostily capturing and ransacking their land is an important part of being a country, I think. As long as you have a border, you should enforce it to protect your people. Obviously, there's going to be different ideas about what is correct border protections and what is the best way to go about enforcing it and who and what you should exempt from being able to cross that border. I think we already kind of laid out how I feel about that part, but I do think protecting it is important. I'm going to take a strong agree on that. Nations should not maintain a military. I'm going to have to take a strong disagree on that. It's obviously a bit of an arms race issue, where when one country builds up their military, it makes them a threat to others and forces them to raise a military. But any nation that doesn't have a military, next to one that does, instantly loses. You don't have a nation then because another nation just runs you over. So you have to have some amount of ability to protect your citizenry, otherwise you can't really be a nation. Not because of some technical definition or something like that, but just because in practicality, you're just going to be annexed. You're just going to be taken over. So you won't be a nation then anyway. Strong disagree. Having independent nations with the risk of global conflict creates a large threat to humanity as a whole. Kind of. In one way I see that because yeah, whenever you have a bunch of independent agents, they can't act selfishly and without regard to the safety and health of the others, or as the collective as a whole, and make decisions that basically negatively impact the entire system. That said, I think it's also bad to be completely centralized as well. It comes back down to like that federal versus state level thing, where I understand having things at a federal level, things at a state level, things at a county level, and then at a local level. Kind of like a telescoping your legislation from top to bottom and bottom to top that way allows you to have more freedom of association in the places that you want. So having independent nations allows for that kind of telescoping, whereas if it was like a one world government and each region had to adhere to this one specific government, All it would take is that one specific government to make a really big mistake or misstep in their execution, or I don't know, just making a terrible policy decision. And that would also be a threat to humanity as a whole. They could do something that completely fundamentally ruins society, and because everyone put all their eggs in one basket, well, now you're all dead, instead of just having one country make that terrible decision and get fucked up over it. Everyone has to deal with it. So I'm going to take a light disagree, because I do know that having independent nations does invite this risk of global conflict. But at the same time, having a one world government is also a large threat to humanity as a whole for slightly different reasons. But yes, this can be a huge problem. So, you know, either way, I could take a light agree or a light disagree on this, depending on how I want to phrase it. Having independent nations with the risk of global conflict creates a large threat to humanity as a whole. Well, I have to agree with this statement. That is a reality of having independent nations. That's part of it. So trying to disagree with that just seems like weaseling, and I was trying to weasel my way out of having to agree with it. The national government can't understand what the people need. That's a lot different than what they said before about local governments just being better at understanding their people. National government can't understand what the people need. I'm gonna have to disagree with, because I think there are definitely ways to understand that at a national level. The very existence of the state is a threat to our liberty. Don't think so. Again, this kind of talks about the subjects of border protection that we were discussing, where in order to have people living freely, that freedom has to be with a little bit of expense to security. Because if you don't have a way to protect yourself from an invading army, then you're not going to be free. And then their state will overpower your non-state and put you into a state of very lacking liberty, let's say that. If it's an extremely authoritarian government and they just come in and subjugate you, well, it doesn't matter that you didn't have the threat of a state looming over you. So I'm gonna have to take a strong disagree on this one. Police should be regulated more. This is probably a very American-centric quiz, so assuming that we're talking about American policing, I would say yes. Should be regulated more. I think when people think of regulation, they're talking about bureaucratically, but I'm going to give them a little leeway here and say that I think you can also regulate from below. You can have community councils and stuff like that that can review police conduct in order to determine if they acted within the law, or if they should be held accountable for it or punished or something like that. Saying they should be more regulated, they're leaving it very open for me, so I want to say a strong agree, because I don't think there's a problem necessarily with that. It's just going to be about how you do it. We should be more accepting to other cultures. Well, again, the we here is a little bit weird, but I think I've been pretty accepting of your cultures. I try to be very understanding, and even if I don't agree with it, I try to be tolerant of it. However, you know, not all cultures deserve that respect. There are some cultures that are very toxic. There's no other way of really putting it, and I don't think they deserve to have acceptance for it. So should we be more accepting to other countries? Other cultures? I would say a light agree there, because there are times when you need to temper that that tolerance. Religion should be removed from everything in our government. Again, I feel like as soon as the government shows favoritism to a religion, then you're going to end up with problems, because then people that don't belong to that religion, or of course if they're part of a competing religion, are going to have huge problems with it. However, having representation of religious people in your government doesn't seem that bad to me, just as long as there isn't a favoritism there. So religion should be removed from everything in our government. I I want to say a light disagree there, because there is a place for it. It just needs to not be favoritized. It doesn't, you just shouldn't be able to give like necessarily favoritism. And I've said the same thing like 3 times, but I'm trying to think of a different way of putting it. Just as long as, you know, religion doesn't trump other things, having the perspective of a religious person influencing policy seems fine. But it should not be part of the legislation. You should not be legislating religion. So I think that really depends on what we're talking about religion being removed from. Because I can take a light agree here if it's like, you know, religion shouldn't be a part of pieces of legislation. Sure, yeah, agree, I don't want it in there. But religion should be removed from everything, so we shouldn't have politicians that belong to a religious group. Well, that's a different story. But I think what they're saying might have more to do with legislation than it does with representation. So I'm going to take a light agree on that. People should have the power to choose their leaders. Well, I feel like that's a strong agree there. People should have the power to choose their leaders. We did talk about how people have their specialties. There's things that they know and that they're good at. And when you're choosing a leader, if they have opinions that you disagree on because you specifically have a specialty and they seem to be saying things that run contrary to your knowledge in those fields, then that sucks. And obviously the majority of people aren't going to know that they're misinformed on that topic, whereas you're particularly informed on the topic. But if we're saying in general, the people having control over their leader is a check to the balance of authority in general. People with authority are very likely to abuse that authority, and trying to default to a higher authority just makes that problem even worse. Defaulting lower on the hierarchy scale for the balance there and letting the people decide who gets the power is a way to make sure that it's less abusive than it otherwise could be. So I want to say strong agree. We must go back to a basic way of life without modern conveniences. Again, say you guys must go back to a basic way of life without modern conveniences. No, I don't think so. I do think having a perspective informed by a time when you didn't have modern conveniences would be helpful for making better decisions in the modern day, but I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's a must go back thing. I think it would just help with perspective to understand that, you know, the way things used to be were that way because of a lack of these conveniences, and having that historical perspective would probably give you more nuanced views on how the world is now. So strong disagree there. Even when protesting an authoritarian government, violence is not acceptable. Ooh. Ooh, hoo, hoo. My immediate reaction is to agree with that, because I feel like violence often ends up harming your movement, because the problem people mostly have with authoritarian governments, and my understanding, is basically that they use coercive force to get what they want. And if your response to that is to also use coercive force, then it makes you seem unprincipled. Now, granted, if the authoritarian government is like running through the streets, pulling people out and shooting them in the head for being dissidents, then yeah, you know, violence is going to be acceptable. But I think at that point you're beyond protesting and you're kind of now in civil war or revolt. But as long as you're in the protesting stage of things, when you're protesting, I don't think you should be violent. I think it undermines the value that you have in doing a protest if you start justifying violence in it. But I just want to say, while making that comment, that yes, there are times when you need to escalate to violence, but at that point I think you're giving up on it being a protest. Violence is not acceptable. Strong agree. It is very important to maintain law and order. Well, yes, because you want stability in your society. If you don't maintain law and order, then basically the rules are up in the air and people don't know what's right or wrong, and then you end up having lots of vigilantism, people acting on their own, extrajudicial killings, just seems like things get out of hand. So is it important to maintain law and order? I strongly agree. So let's see what we got here. Okay, there they go. So I score very high on the federal side of things and not on the unitary. Democracy, I'm pretty neutral on compared democracy and authority. That's almost right in the middle there. Globalist, I am way more globalist than I am isolationist, so got that going for us, I guess. Neutral, between military and pacifist, probably just nuanced. Neutral on security versus freedom, okay. Moderate equality, I care slightly more about equality than markets. Moderate secular, okay. I think this is just my respect of people's, this 35% is me respecting religious beliefs, even though I don't hold them. Fanatic progressive, ooh, fanatically progressive. It was so much progressive, I didn't even get a percent over here. I didn't get my 5. And multiculturalist, assimilationist versus multiculturalist, I'm more there. Closest match, progressivism. Please note this does not factor the democratic, authoritarian, globalist, isolationist, equality markets, and progressive traditional axis. Well, that's like 4 of them. That's half of it, right? It's a 9 axis. And you're not taking in 1, 2, 3, 4 of the axes for this? Okay. Whatever. But yeah, that's apparently where I sit. I'm a closest match to progressivism. Well, that took about an hour. I didn't expect 45 minutes of political axes being that way. We could take a little bit of time to look back at what each of those mean. Back. Based off 8 values. Okay, here we go. Those with higher equality scores believe the economy should distribute value evenly among the populace. Can I go back to my results? Okay, so I think it just shows that there. So let's see the federal. Oh. Okay, so those are ones that don't show up on here. Oh, nation versus globe. Authority versus democracy, was that one? No. Okay, so I went more with globe than nation. So those with higher globe scores are cosmopolitan and globalists. They often believe in a peaceful foreign policy, emphasizing diplomacy, cooperation, integration, and at high values, a world government. Well, I feel like I kind of specifically talked that part down, but you know, they can't get everything right. That's why these tests are very generalized. What other ones? Equality in markets. Okay, so I went more with equality. Those with higher equality scores believe the economy should distribute value evenly among the populace. They tend to support progressive tax codes, social programs, and at high values, socialism. Okay, so despite me saying that I liked capitalism the most, I still ended up on that side of things. Moderate versus secular, that was another one. Liberty, authority, tradition, and progress. I was kind of neutral on the liberty versus authority, if that's what that is. Oh, maybe democracy versus authority. Well, I was still neutral there too, so whatever. And tradition versus progress, and I was heavy on the progress side here. Those with higher progress scores believe in social change and rationality, though not always. They are usually secular or atheists and support environmental action and scientific or technological research. All right. So in the future, whenever you see me talking about political ideas, just keep in mind that this is what this political test had to say about what my beliefs are. I think I gave some pretty good rationale to it. It does make it hard on some of those questions to give a concrete answer on the agree or disagree side, because it's easy to rationalize ways that you could be wrong on either side of it, or right on either side of it, of course. So, you know, grain of salt there, because a lot of this could change if I had just slightly changed my answers based off of what the question was asking. But I think we did a good job at that. So if you like this content and you're looking forward to me talking about politics in the future, give this a like and subscribe to see more of it. If you wanted to take this test yourself, come up here and give a link to your results, either like reply to me on Twitter or something like that, and talk about what you thought about my answers, and I'll respond to you. And until next time, take care of yourself and take care of those around you. Bye-bye. All right. Oh, there go all my bones again. So what can we do now? Now that we have... What? Monster Hunter Rise? Is this Thanos? Kinda. Kinda look like the Red Skull in Thanos' armor. A little weird, but whatever. I do want to do some Adventures of Lolo before I stop, because I did put that in the stream title and then watching some videos. But let's take a look at the news. News. All 4 members of Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young have pulled their respective solo catalogs as well as the music they made together from Spotify. Okay, so more people are joining in the Spotify boycott. Eventually they'll reach a point where maybe Spotify changes their stuff, but didn't they already make a deal with Rogan where they were going to put some kind of limitations? As a big Neil Young lives here, explore the entire legend. I don't know. I saw that Spotify said they're going to be putting little notifications on Joe Rogan's podcast about COVID information, and Joe himself said that he was going to start working on having a more, whenever he brings on a controversial figure that talks about these things, he was going to temper it with having other experts in the field that disagree. And I think that's a good way of going about it. If you have people that are pulling out of Spotify still now, I'm not sure what they want to change then, but at the same time, I understand continuing to pull out until you get to see it in action, because words are pretty hollow, actions are almost everything. Star witness and Ukraine impeachment saga sues Trump allies and alleges conspiracies to intimidate him. Huh. It's from CNN, so I don't trust this, but we'll see. Vindman served the National Security Council and emerged as a star witness against the President Donald Trump during the 2019 Ukraine impeachment, is suing Donald Trump, Rudy Giuliani, and former Trump White House staffers alleging they conspired against him. And a new lawsuit said Trump's family, his lawyers, right-wing media, and others in the White House tried to intimidate and retaliate against him because he was willing to testify against the president, calling out Trump's entreaties of Ukraine for his personal gain. Okay, well, so he was just sworn in? Oh, wait. No, this is from 2019. So he's going to sue the lawsuit that non-governmental organization like think tanks and speakers bureaus have also shielded away from associating with him because they want to remain nonpartisan. Okay, well, let's see how that case goes then. Smartest thing about the suit is it doesn't name Trump as the defendant. That will leave all of his sycophants to fend for themselves. They will soon realize they don't have the funds nor clout to delay this trial on their own. Yeah, that's a fair move. Like, if you're trying to get a whole bunch of people, don't hit Trump first, because Trump does have the ability to drag things out in court more than a lot of people. Comic book store owners are offering to ship banned Holocaust novel Mouse to Tennessee students for free. I'm getting really sick of this story. It's not banned. It's not banned. Like, there's nothing to say other than it's not banned. It's moved from the curriculum. Just as there are hundreds of pieces of literature that aren't part of the curriculum right now. Topic of the Holocaust, and they aren't banned. This is just going to be switched out with one that wasn't on the list before. That's all. You're being fear-mongered. Thank you. This. Yes, this, exactly. Oh god. Well, at least this person is not like massively downloaded. They did not ban it. Stop using this fucking hyperbolic language to describe changing the curriculum. Yeah, you know, this is the thing that you need to argue against. If you're saying the book should be in because, you know, swearing and nudity isn't that bad, that's your argument. But saying that the book is banned and that they're trying to cover up the Holocaust is completely disingenuous, if not just misinformed. So, yes. Comic book store, oh, we just read that one, it just didn't become that way because it's fucking... This is why I don't trust CNN, because they're willing to make a headline that says that the book is banned, even though it's not banned. Extreme heat in oceans past point of no return in 2014. That sounds about right, but let's see. This is The Guardian. I also don't trust them, and they're extremely partisan and biased, so we'll take this with skepticism and a grain of salt. Scientists analyzed sea surface temperatures over the last 150 years. They found that extreme temperatures occurring just 2% of the time a century ago have occurred 50% of the time now. Some hotspots, temperatures occur 90% of the time, severely affecting wildlife. More than 9% of heat trapped in greenhouse gases absorbed by the ocean. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Like, this also, this is what that like 0.5% ends up being in like global temperature, because it also affects the amount of temperature that the water in the ocean can absorb from the air. If the temperature in the ocean is already slightly higher, then it's not going to have as much heat transfer from the air to the water. By using this measure of extremes, shown climate, yep, bar goes up. The number of heat waves affecting the planet's oceans had increased sharply. Found that by 2014, more than 50% of monthly records across the entire ocean had surpassed the once in 50 years extreme heat benchmark, called the year when the percentage passed 50% and did not fall back below in its subsequent years the point of no return. Okay, so that's what they're saying, is that 50% of all records in 2014 had surpassed a once in 50 years extreme heat benchmark, and that's what they're considering the point of no return. that seems like it'd be easy to return to, though. Because if you had a couple of years in a row where the monthly records for the ocean did not surpass once in 50 years extreme heat benchmarks, then yeah, you would be reversing that very quickly. So that seems a little bit hyped up, maybe. But at the same time, not a climate scientist, not entirely sure. Neo-Nazis target anti-racist doctors at Brigham and Women's Hospital, calling them anti-white. Local news source. Where is this? GBH? Boston, okay. Boston news source. White nationalist protesters. About 24, so about 24 people showed up, and this is now front of Reddit, but anyway. BW hospital kills whites. They pass out flyers condemning by name 2 doctors associated with the hospital and Harvard Medical School who have been working with Mass Gen Brigham to establish greater equity in health care for non-white communities. One of those doctors, Michael Morse, teaches at Harvard Medical School and is chief medical officer at New York Department. She was formerly on staff at Brigham and Women's. The other is this person, just trying to get to the story. Black woman and white man were featured in the leaflets that were passed out. Preferential healthcare policies for non-white patients. And they and the other conservative activists. Oh, wait, are they conservatives or are they white nationalists? Kind of throwing out all of the right-wing labels all at once here. Left behind is modern medicine. Okay, anyway. What I'm trying to do is hold the medical industrial complex accountable for the harms that it's caused to communities of color and to communities and push for racial justice and health equity in all forms of all of the institutions that I'm involved in and in the partnership with many communities that I serve. And I think ultimately in the COVID era, part of what that means is a real serious push to make inequities more visible. But can I see the pamphlet? Okay, here it is. Dr. Mitchell Morse and Dr. Bram Wispsley, who teach at Harvard Medical School, have proposed a medical pilot program that has since been adopted by Brigham and Women's Hospital that implement preferential healthcare treatment policies for non-white patients. This will put non-white patients ahead of the line for life-saving treatments despite being entirely less qualified for them. This is a blatant anti-white genocidal policy. Okay, like, up until this point, you are going to make a good, like, anti-racism statement, and then we go straight into the insanity. This is blatant anti-white genocidal policy fueled by the same line of thought as critical race theory. We have seen more policies like this pop up around the countries. It's an initial implementation at Brigham and Women's Hospital. Non-white preferred treatment is now endorsed by the FDA. If this is your statement, I think you could get a lot more people on board if you left out this part down here. Calling it anti-white genocidal policy is like cranking that up to 12, and then tying in critical race theory, which is obviously incredibly contentious and is, you know, polarizing in its own right. You probably lost a lot of people like that. But I don't think these people are necessarily saying that, you know, whites are supreme. This sounds like a call for equality, where you don't want to have racial metrics being involved in who gets healthcare. It should be based off of need, not based off of demographics. So I feel like this, what makes them neo-Nazis? Doctors were promptly denounced by a guest on Tucker Carlson's Fox News program, who derided their advocacy for prioritizing non-white patients for certain procedures as political eugenics. After analyzing 10 years of hospital data, we concluded that the trend we observed was painfully robust. White patients at Brigham and Women's Hospital, a prominent, predominantly white Harvard teaching hospital, were indeed more likely to be admitted to the cardiology service. We also found that the discrepancy, like many other racial health inequities, wasn't fully accounted for by insurance status, established links to care, other medical conditions, or an index reflecting the socioeconomic status of patients' neighborhood. In a follow-up study, we found that patient self-advocacy may play a role in these disparities. White patients were perceived to advocate for cardiology admission more often and more intensely, and providers acknowledged such behavior impacted their decision-making. But that wasn't racism. You just said white patients were perceived to advocate for cardiology admission more often. So you're just saying that one group of people had pushed harder for it. This is like going back to the gender wage gap, where you can also look at studies that show that men negotiate for higher pay more often than women, and so that ends up with them getting higher payment. If you're saying that white patients are more forceful in how they apply for admission to a certain group than another group, and that gives them a benefit, then you just need to either temper your understanding of that situation, or give that information to others so that they know that is a winning strategy. Sensitive to these injustices, we have taken to redress in our particular initiative to mean providing precisely what was denied for the last decade: a preferential admission option for Black and Latino heart failure patients to our specialty cardiology service. This is racism. Why is this even a question? It doesn't matter if their motivation may be good or the description of the problem is accurate. Their solution is raceless. It simply is. You will never solve racism with more racism. Yeah, this. Stop the preferential treatment instead of giving different preferential treatment. But that's just me. ABC News suspends The View host Whoopi Goldberg. Yeah, we already talked about that the other day. New Jersey plow driver who sprayed Orthodox Jews with snow during storm facing criminal probe. Yep, we saw that too. What an asshole. Arkansas jail sued over ivermectin treatments has alleged history of leaving ailing inmates harmed and worse off. Well, that sounds great. Native American tribes reached 590 million opioid settlement. Hopefully. Robert E. Lee descendant proves his lineage and pushes for honest history of racism. I want to see what the comments say about this. Robert E. Lee, at the end of the war, told his soldiers and many others of the Confederate States of America after the war to integrate back into the U.S. Don't remember what the CSA did. Don't glorify it with statues or put the former leaders' names on buildings. Just move on and heal the nation. Apparently everyone in the South didn't listen to that. The Lee family was a founding family and knew how badly they fucked up by siding with the Confederacy. They're closely tied to the Washington family. Lee's wife is George Washington's adopted grandchild, and Lee's father had delivered the eulogy at Washington's funeral. Lee's grandfather was a celebrated Revolutionary War hero, and they threw it all away in the rebellion. Yeah, that's the thing. Whenever I was just taking that political compass test and it asked about your allegiance to a state over a nation, that's how it was for a lot of the beginning of the country. Because if you can imagine, you had about 100 years or so of the states existing, or there were provinces or whatever it was, the colonies existing before it was the United States. So there was still a lot of thought of this independence where, Virginia was its own nation in a way compared to Maryland or Pennsylvania. And once the Revolutionary War happened and they formed America, you still had those feelings of independence where you were your state. So they just, if I remember correctly, Robert E. Lee participated in the Mexican-American War. And then when the Civil War broke out, he lived in, was it Virginia? It may have not been Virginia, but I think it was Virginia, who are part of the Confederacy, so he just teamed up with them because that's where his family was. But then after they fought the war, it didn't seem like he really cared about the values, or during the war he didn't seem to care about their values. It just became about protecting his state. Yeah, but you're saying the U.S. had been fully federated for over half a century? Yeah, half a century is 50 years. That's one person's lifetime. 50 years is less than one person's lifetime. That's like saying that the civil rights movement succeeded in the 50s. Therefore, it's been more than half a century since then, so there's no more systemic racism. People, especially groups of people, don't change that quickly. It takes time. Alright, I think that's enough of that for now. I'm kind of feeling like playing the Lolo, and so we will play the Lolo. And hopefully I'll stop having heartburn, but I think this juice isn't helping. Leave the music on until I can get it up. We'll move over here. If you notice, I have a nifty-difty subscriber goal up above my head, so if anybody wants to join in on subscribing it, just click that little button and we'll see if the number goes up. Be nice if the number went up. I like it when the number goes up. Emulator. Go to the emulator room. There we go. My chat box. I do need to have that up here. You know, I don't think chat ever really runs so fast that, oh. There we go. I knew there was a problem with that. And there we go. Oh no, not the powder. Hey everybody, welcome back to some more Adventures of Lolo. We're going to be playing through the next grouping of puzzles, so let's see, where do I have save state? There it is. Apparently this is the next one that we're going to. Alright, bunch of Medusa heads and Sleepy Boys on this one. How are we going to do this? We're going to need to put Sleepy Boys in such a way that we can grab stuff. It looks like I've got push blocks next to me. Well, my immediate thought is to just do this. Oh, but I can't push that one. So I need to do that. I need to do something to block it on this side, which probably means pulling out one of those little blocks there. I'm gonna have to use that block beneath me here to go to the right. So we're gonna pull this out. Oh! I was gonna get out of the way of the Sleepy Boy, but that didn't work. So I basically have to do this. Otherwise I can't go to the left at all. How do I get this guy to sleep? Well, let's just see which way it goes when he comes out here. Ah, so even if he doesn't walk into me, just being adjacent to me will put him to sleep. I thought he basically had to try to walk into me. So we're gonna get him to run out. Oh, he walked right towards me. Okay. Does he always run right towards me? Did I just happen to be in the wrong spot? Let's see. Let's see if I come up here. Yeah, he seems to chase me. So I think I have to, like, might have to push him into the wall or something like that. Alright, we're gonna push this over here. Oh, I blocked off that wall though. Okay. So we just basically need him to get to fall asleep in a place that is not in the way. At least with this, I can move around him. I can grab this one. Then I can push that block up against the wall. Like that. Stop you. And then I can get this heart in the corner. And then what I might need to do is... Ah, you know what? I bet that block there... Since I have to push it this way... Oh, I guess I could have gone to the one at the top first. Anyway, let's just try pushing this over here to block that Medusa head from shooting up. And then we could do this one here. Except now you're blocking that heart, but we'll do the rest of this first so that we can get an idea of what we're doing. Oh, they have like one little tooth. That's kind of cute. Alright, we're gonna put you to sleep there. Put you to sleep there, and you to sleep there. Okay, pretty safe. I can grab this one without getting hurt. Push you over. Grab that one. So I basically just fucked up this one. I didn't get any other shot, so seems like that's fine. What we did is okay. I just need to get that guy to fall asleep in a better spot, and then we're fine. We're solved. We're good. That means I can take this one, and you can just stop out here in the open. Take that. Push you here. Block you. Grab you. Push this over to block that Medusa head, and then we can stop you there. We're protected. Grab that. We'll stop you up ahead. Oops, that was bad. There. Stop there. And there. Alright, we're safe. We just need to push you up. And we're good. Alright, that one wasn't too bad. 4 minutes? Oh, a bunch of sleepy boys. Okay, so this whole area is just gonna be sleepy boy area. Note the music's kind of low. Let's turn up the music real fast. Sound. There we go. I didn't notice how low it was on the feedback. Okay, let's just start the movement here and see where everything is. We've got 2 on the side. We do have a Medusa head in the bottom, so if we go all the way down, we're going to be in a lot of trouble there. Does he turn around the moment I come out? No. He stays moving in that direction, so I basically need to chase him down and stop him there. Which means I can grab this one and this one. If I stop this guy on the right, then I basically have a way to get around. So I can come over here. Now I need to put this block over here so that I can come up this way. And I also need to do it down here so that I can go to the right. And I basically need to grab this heart when this guy is either at the top or the bottom, so I can get around him. No, I didn't. Oh, wait, you know what? Oh, you can't egg them while they're already asleep. Okay, you can probably egg them while they're awake, and that's how you deal with that. Alright, got that one. We'll take you. And you. Stop you there. And bring you down. Grab both of these. I have 4 shots. Yeah. Seems fine. So now this guy. We need to stop this guy whenever he's right up behind the Medusa head. I did it a little bit too early. You know what? I probably could have egged him, but I didn't. Alright, let's see about this. I think I only need to do 1 here in order to get the heart. Yeah, push, blow him away. And that still leaves me with 1 that I can use on the far left there. Alright, so I think we've got this one solved. We just need to execute. Get that guy out of the way. There's our 2 shots. We egg this guy. Put that one to sleep and blow him away. Block off that. Block off that. Stop you for a second, thank you. Block you there. And then we'll freeze them. I don't think that's necessary for any reason, but we did it. Alright, this level. We got a Medusa on the left and a demon on the right. Oh, and a Medusa in the bottom right too. So, this is going to be about getting things to fall asleep in the right places. Alright, I think that counts. Yep. Got our shot there. These guys on the right here. Oh, gotta be careful. That demon's gonna shoot me if I go too far to the right there. The only way up is to... Oh, we're protected by the heart, so we're okay until we grab the hearts. Something needs to block something else so that it spawns down there in the bottom right. So what I'm gonna do is blow this guy away and stand here and see if it puts it down there next to that Medusa head. Nope, it did not. Alright, let's get shot. I'm not sure what that's gonna be, but you know what, we could try riding it and see what happens. Probably just gonna get shot and die. Nope. Okay, well, let's move on here. We're protected by the hearts. I can grab that one safely as long as there's things in the way. Let's see. If I come up here and block him, then they have to bounce around. And then that one can block there. Yeah, okay, here's what we do. Come up here, we need to grab this whenever the sleepy guy is all the way on the left. There we go, now we got him blocked in. So now I can grab this, this, and this safely. I need to stop Sleepy Boy when he's all the way up against this, so we're gonna do that. And I need to protect myself by pushing you here. So now, how do I get this one down here? Something has to be blocked. can't push this guy anywhere other than in the water to get to this heart. So I need to have at least one of these still up. And I definitely can't blow away this guy without getting shot by the Medusa head. And we know that blocking this doesn't get it to reappear next to the Medusa head. Something else will have to do that. Let's reset the puzzle and see what we're missing here. Because we have 2 shots. It could be that, wait, the slug that's in the middle there, maybe we need to... No, because we definitely need to use the one at the top to protect the chest, and then we need something there to stop that heart. Then again, I guess I could push it down, grab the heart, and then blow it away while standing on its spot and see if that does it. So, it's kind of sucky that we have to trial and error all of this, but we'll work on it and see what happens. Yeah. That protects this. Wait for him to get all the way over. Block that. Put him in the corner, even better than before. Push him all the way over. We're going to stand here so that he goes to sleep as soon as he pops up. There we go. Alright, so now the plan is we're going to take him, push him down, get this heart, then blow him away. But now I can't get over to the right. I'll get shot when I go down. See though, if I stand here, nope, that doesn't do it. Okay. Well, we know that's not the answer. Something here needs to change. Ah! Okay, so all I need to do is blow away one of them, and then the rest of it falls together. Okay. That is fine. We're fine. Let's... Yeah, I'm fine with... No, let's get this under control first. There we go. Now I feel more comfortable. Let's do that. And then get in position. Got that one. Okay, not too bad. We're looking pretty good here. So we got a Medusa head, we got a demon. Does that demon move up and down along with that guy? Probably. Yeah, he just moves along with him, okay. Medusa head in the bottom left, and a whole bunch of sleepy boys in the middle there. So I think we're relatively safe from the demon until we separate these guys. So how are we going to? It looks like we've got the slug here. The slug is going to probably be used to get in the water, and then it probably goes around. And we gotta grab those and put the guys to sleep. But I'm gonna have to protect myself. Okay, so this is safe to take. Alright, that protects that Medusa head. This one will stop it from hurting us on the right side here. I still haven't gotten a shot yet, though. Okay. Oh, we got ladders. Okay. So with the demon out of the question, what can I do? I've got 2 ladders. Ah. Well, I feel like 1 ladder... I've got a shot too. It's hard to know what I should do with these ladders and these shots without knowing if the water has current or if it just stops. So what I'm going to do is just push you here and grab that. Okay. And then when it comes back, I can't grab either of those until I have something. I probably needed to egg those before pushing something so that I could push it again? No. Because I definitely would have had to touch them in order to grab that heart. I can't shoot through the heart as far as I know. So what we need to do is use a ladder. But they put little grass things there. That makes me think I should push one of these guys over to it. Oh, you know what? I figured it out. It's what they had me do in the last one. I just need to shoot them and then somebody will replace their position. And that's all it is. That's fine, I think. Yeah, so we're just gonna do this. Are you kidding me? I half shot it. I shot it on a half step. Okay, that's fine. We're already below it, so not a big deal. Just put you in the corner. And then we'll see if that replaces it. In the right or bottom. There we go. Yep, that's all it was. So we don't put the ladder down. I'm going to stand back when I do this one. Okay, so that one's blocked. That one's blocked. So I can take the hearts on the side, but I don't have any shots left. Unless these have shots in them. They do. Okay. We'll get this one too, just in case it also has shots. It does. Alright, so with that, what we could do is push you. We'll take this one for free. Then we get one to push the snail back over here. So we're going to blow this guy away and then push the snail over to come down on it. Success! Alright. Last room on this one. It's a lava room. We've got a demon beneath us, Medusa heads on the side, and 3 sleepy boys. So the sleepy boys in the bottom are going to be necessary for us to get that bottom heart. And we're basically going to have to hide behind the blocks so that we don't get hit by the demon. And then we need to get something to block the Medusa head on the bottom left so we can grab the chest. Which might be that block. Alright, let's see. I'm safe behind these hearts. Behind this block. Safe behind this block. Wait for him to run, and then we get this one. So in order to get to this bottom part, I'm gonna have to use that sleepy boy to use him as a bridge, it looks like. When I cross over, it looks like I'll have to push that block down to block the demon. So I'll have to cross there. That's fine. We can do that. We're safe behind the hearts. But I need to do this in a way that I don't sleep him first, because if I sleep him, I can't egg him. So, do that. Oh, I needed him to be further down though. Otherwise I can't push it. And I still need to get, I need to do the Medusa part first, because otherwise I'll get shot while fandangling that. So wait for him to go all the way down. There we go. Grab that heart too. Oh, I can't push him into the lava. Okay, oh, and he walked into me. Alright, let's see if either of these give me something. I got a ladder. Oh, I got daggered. Ugh. Okay, so with the ladder, that means that's how we get over the lava. Now, if I remember right, whenever you grab a ladder, or you put a ladder down over lava, it disappears almost instantly. So I have to immediately use it. So what I could do is egg this guy, then grab a heart, then when the demon moves, grab the other 2 hearts. Okay, I don't know if that was necessary, but I feel like it's going to be necessary. Alright, and then this way I can freeze him on the grass so that he'll block that chest for me. Alright, now I've got this ladder. So I've blocked you off. Except now I can't get back to the chest because I don't have that blocked off. Oh, except I can push that block all the way around. Okay, this is fine. No! I didn't think I would trigger him there. Oh, and I need to do it fast enough to not get my ladder destroyed. Okay, okay, okay. I think we've got this. We've got all the pieces. We just need to put the puzzle together. Damn it! I went too fast. Not putting the pieces together. Just gotta wait on that demon to move. Alright, last time I grabbed that heart piece pretty easy. But that time I did not. Shit. I get the feeling that's not the way I'm supposed to do this. But I need it, if I want to shoot him and have him block the grass, is there a way to do that without it being that complicated? I think so. Okay, if I walk in and go straight to the right, then I think I'll be fine. Like this. And then I can block it off like that. And now the chest is safe. We'll wait for the demon to go by, grab that, come over, ladder down, block him off. Alright, you're stuck there. Got the other ladder. Stop there, cross the ladder again. Then I need to push this up, push it over, push it down, and to the left. So we block the demon, and we can grab the chest. Nice! Alright, now we have to fight a sleepy boy. Oh god, he's so fast. Alright, he's just spiraling. Oh, he's invincible like that? Okay. This is fine. We'll just hang out down here. Oh. There we go. Not bad. Alright, that's another level cleared. We got the sleepy boys dead. And we unlock the passage to the next area, which seems to be some kind of castle thing over here. Which we'll have fun on the next episode with. If you enjoyed this, give the video a like. If you want to see more of it in the future, subscribe. And if you have any tips or tricks for me, leave them in the comments down below. And until next time, take care of yourself and take care of those around you. Bye-bye. Hey, we're here with some more Lolo's Adventure. We just destroyed all the cave levels, and now we're going into this castle. With this castle, I'm sure things are going to get a little bit more difficult because they aren't themed around a single enemy anymore. Looks like this one has a bunch of Medusa heads in it. So how are we going to grab stuff? Gotta block that so I can go down. I can push this down all the way to grab this, which gives me 2 shots. Let's push this over. And then we can also push you here to cover that. And push you up here to cover him. And then we can use this to go in here and cover ourselves. And then we can use this one to block the top Medusa head from this heart. And this one to get this heart. And now I'm kind of boned on getting that top left one. Shit. Did give us 2 extra shots, so I probably need to position 1 so that I can blow it away. But let's see. Oh! I forgot I had moved that first block to stop that. You know what? I can put it here. If I put it here, I can then move it again after this. Is it possible to get this heart without putting a block up against the wall? No. I'm gonna have to put a block up against the wall, which basically makes it dead. It has to be stuck there. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna grab this, and I'm gonna push it out of the way. With 2 shots, I need to be able to get up to the top left, which means I need to get under that Medusa head, which means I shouldn't take that heart yet. I should leave that to block until I need to grab it, and then I can move something there. That's probably what I need to do. Okay, so what we'll do is push you up, push you over, up. We'll block this Medusa head. Although that was probably where I needed to put the slug. So let's give that another shot. Right there. We've got to put you on the bottom so we can grab that. Then we're going to push you up and block you off. However, I can't push a block up there until I move this guy. Because this is now, whether or not this was a slug or a block, I don't have a way to push a block up here. So I need... Oh, additionally, if I push a block right here, I'm not going to have a way to get it out of that corner, and I'll have blocked the doorway. So this needs to be a slug. I just realized that. Okay. So we're going to put you there. Push you all the way down to the bottom. Get our 2-shot. Push you up. Grab this. and then blow it out of the way so that he comes back and we can get another shot. What happens if I stand here? He just comes back anyway. Okay. So then we're going to push you up and over. Then we'll push you up and over and get this. Now I need to block the Medusa head here. And I need to block the one inside here. And then that leaves me with the one at the top, right? That's it? Is that it? Am I missing something? Am I gonna get shot here? Okay, I was not shot. Freedom! Alright, we got roly-polies, we got slugs, we got Medusa heads. Medusa head right next to me is gonna stop me from grabbing that heart, so we gotta put something there. If I go down, I'm gonna have that one in the tree on me. It looks like I'm gonna have to do something to get the blocks off the water. So let's just start puzzling it out by doing this. Block that head, block that head. I have now ruined this block. I'm sure that will come back to bite me, but we're not going to worry about that for a second. This block will stop that head. And now I have no shots and no way of grabbing anything else without dying. How do I get... Ah, okay. So this is about resource management like this. Saving blocks for later by not putting them in a compromised position. I will put this one up against the wall to grab this one though. The slug though, we can push the slug over, put it in the water here, and that way we can get this block off the wall. When it respawns, we can then push that one on the bottom to get it up. But that means I need to have this one here so I'm not shot to the left. And that should work. Okay, I think that should work. There we go. Now I can move this one while we wait on it to respawn. Like that. And there we go. All these pieces are ours now, and we got 2 more shots. Now if I push this one up, I have to contest with that roly-poly. I'll have 1 shot for him. And basically not a lot of time to work with here. Also, if I shoot him while he's next to the water, I'm not going to have a way to push him off the water. But it looks like I need to use him to get back, unless this is a current, and when I push him in, he's going to go to the right, and then I have to just basically get to the end before he dies. Let's see. Nope, he was not, so we'll take those. But I definitely needed to use him to go over to the right, so how are we going to do that? Basically need to shoot him here and then shoot this guy and go up, and that'd be the way to do it. Alright, a little bit of a drawback there. So we cover ourselves, we go left, we block you off, and we get our first set of shots. We push this down and all the way over, and then we push you all the way over. We get this one. This slug goes down. And we push this block out. And while you're respawning, we get you into position. There we go. And we push you over here. Push these up. Alright, 2 more shots. With our 2 more shots, we're gonna hit you right there, except that ruined everything because he's on a half step and I can't move. Fantastic. This might be one of those ones where I need to push something in the way of something else so that it respawns in a different spot. So we'll take advantage of that by the guy that we're dropping in the water. We'll use one of those blocks that we're basically pulling out of the corner and see if it puts him somewhere else when we do this. We'll do the first one still. We'll get this block in position. Yeah, there we go. He's gonna be there. So I'm gonna put this just above his spot, push him over, and push this up. We're gonna come down here, put this block back on top of him, and see if he appears somewhere else or if it just kills it. Just kills it, which is kind of a problem, because I bet we needed him for this. So that wasn't it. A little bit of trial and error here, so we at least know it doesn't have anything to do with stopping the spawn of that guy. Got you. And got you. I wonder what, like, the picture on these blocks is supposed to be. I don't know if it's supposed to be, like, a picture of something, but I always looked at it as, like, an old, like, Macintosh computer with a keyboard on the bottom. But I don't know what you guys might see in that. Now I have to push him straight into the water because there's no other way of getting him out of the corner. Although that could be the red herring. What I might need to do is... No, I can't push it over to the right here because there's no way to do that. And I have to contest with the roly-poly because otherwise... How do you get through that? So I have to freeze him on the right. I have to go up and grab all the hearts, then push him over, push him down into the water. It seems like a really tight timing. And we just basically killed ourselves with that. Maybe I should grab those hearts at the bottom first. They might be more shots too. Could be more shots. Hard to know since, you know, there's no thing to differentiate. They could have made them like blue, do a little palette swap or something like that. Put you over here, put you up here, like that. And over here and up like that. Got 2 shots. There's no way to know if that gives a shot until I try to go for it. I think ultimately that guy needs to go to the right. And then I can push. Oh, I've been doing it backwards, haven't I? Oh, that's the problem. I've been seeing it from one perspective the whole time, and it's ruined my perspective. So we need to push the slug along the right side in order to go up to that roly-poly, and then we can use that slug next to the water to push it down to cover the bottom, instead of the other way around. Of course, the answer is always simpler than what you make it out to be. Not always. Most of the time it feels that way though. So this part, I think, is all the correct part of the solution. Getting up here, getting all of these. So what I'm saying to do now is to push this over to the right. Like that. Get you. I'm going to push you up over here, like this. And then I can grab each of these and stand on this little spot and be safe. Oh my god, I missed my shot. Well, well, well. We've solved it, we just now need to execute it. I missed. He was right next to me and I got scared and I missed. Unbelievable. How could this happen to me? Come with me. I'm just gonna walk all over you. So you go over, grab you, push you up, over here, up, up. I have 2 shots again. We hit you, push you over 1, down, push you, down. Got it. And GTFO. To the next room. Alright, we got Medusa heads, and it's been a while since we've seen the Dragon Boys. If you don't remember, they wake up when all of the hearts are grabbed, and they'll start shooting fire if you walk in front of them. So I can't go to the left or we'll get shot. If I go to the right, like I'm gonna have to do, I can push that there. I can go along the bottom here. It looks like I have to block off the right side. Block that, like this, like that. And we can do this, like that. And I can grab you. And then I need to block off the top of this Medusa head so that I can push that slug to the right. You know, I'm going to assume this is one that has a current. And I'm going to ride it, and I need to grab that heart and then get back on it. And then when it respawns, I can grab the one at the top. But when I grab that last one, it's going to activate all the dudes. And that really puts me in a pickle. That's a real pickle of a situation. Can I shoot through a tree? I cannot. Okay, let's just see. Yeah. This one's on a current. Grab you. Get back on you. And then we're gonna get shot as soon as we grab this. Yep. So do I need to save one for later? Because I'm basically not gonna be able to avoid and I'm not going to have 3 shots. So how do I avoid getting shot by that one looking right at the heart? If I save it for last, I'm basically doomed. But if I don't save it for last, how do I get back? I have to cross the river again. I'll have to cross the river 3 times. You know what? That one might also have another shot in it. So I guess we'll have to take a chance. Take a chance on me. And let's find out, because I need this one to get the shots, and I have to grab the one at the bottom, so I'm always going to be left with these 2. So if I push you in, go over here, and then wait for it to come back and down and around, I can get on. Like that. It did not give me a shot, though. Maybe this one does? It does. Alright, so here's what we do. I did not mean to go all the way off of that, but... Alright, we freeze you. We come up here, we push that, and we're safe from the fire as long as we get through it before it touches us. Alright, we start out with 2 Medusa heads looking at us pretty scarily. We're gonna have to push some blocks here to block them off, and we got a dragon at the very top left. Otherwise, some slug boys just hanging out. And we're gonna have to move the slug before I'm able to block off that Medusa. This one needs to be blocked here. And then I can get this one, which frees up this one. Didn't have a shot in it. Okay. Well, we can push you up so that we can push this one over and get this one. Okay, that one does have a shot. So with that, where can I put something? If I push this one any further left, I'll get shot by the Medusa up there, so that has to block that. I could push this slug up and then back down and around to grab that one in the bottom left. So I think we'll do that. Okay, that gave us another shot. That will block this. So I can push this up here, and then I can push this guy somewhere. But where? Like that. No, because this one needs to go down here to block this one anyway. Something needs to go over here to stop this one, and I need something down here in the bottom left to stop that one. But how do I get this guy off the wall? I basically have to do this, come around, push, and then get him up? That seems like a lot. Seems like a lot to do in a short amount of time. You know, this might be the right way, and that's what I needed to use the stuff on that side for. Okay, so I can grab this one. We know we can push you up, then down, around, and back down. But how am I gonna do that? I need some way to block the Medusa on bottom so I can grab that lower heart, but I also need to block the top, but I also need to block the left so that I can move through there. And if I push the slug up, it's going to be stuck against the top wall, and I won't be able to push it off the wall. Damn it. Oh well, it's we could do this. We did get extra shots, so here's what we do. Okay, here's what we do. We push you over here. We grab that. We blow you away. And then we use the 2 shots to put it in position up there. Doing something similar to what we did before with this. Push you over like that. I get the feeling this was not the way that you're supposed to solve it. Oh, I can't actually solve it that way. Look. Because now I can't go above that Medusa head. There's no way to block it because there's a tree there. So now I've got the shooty boy staring me down. Can you shoot twice? No. Oh! Hey, there's a Medusa head there too. Shit. So how do you protect to the left then? That means I'm gonna have to push that slug up so that I can get around him. This is a good puzzle. So I need something to go down here. Okay, so what it might be is that I push this guy up here, down here, grab this, and then blow him away so that he comes back. Because I do think I had an extra one left over. And then we can put him in position here for the end. That covers the dragon and the Medusa head to the left. Then, with this guy, I need to just push him out of the way for the moment. But then set him up so that we can get... Oh, I just completely blocked myself off trying to get that. That was greedy. Oops. Oops. We'll take an oops on that one. Yeah, up there, over here, down there. Grab you. Block you. Juice me, squeeze me, roll me. You're blocked. While it's respawning, we can come over here, push you up, over, down, and then get you in position to knock you back over that way. Like this. Grab that. Blow him away. Then grab this guy. Get another 2 shots. Except, how am I gonna get that one? Damn it. This is so much to walk around. I have to have 2 shots if it's gonna be that guy. So it's probably a block I need to push. I probably need to find a way to push this block up and over without getting shot. But how? But how, though? I could put this one over here. The slug going over to the left might be it. You have to go this way. This block has to go here because I can't push it up without being blocked. This one, I then... Can I push that one all the way over and then come up through that direction? I can. But is it the right way? Is it the way? I guess we'll find out. Almost bad there. Huh, this is a real head scratcher here. that. Over here. Still pretty much ends up in the same block positions. Just slightly different. But now I basically don't have a way of getting this top right one. How am I supposed to get this one? I don't have any resources for pushing something over here unless it takes multiple shots. Maybe this is one of the ones where I have to use a block to cover it? So we're going to start out with this over here. I'm going to put this block here, push you down, get this heart. Push this one over here. Get you. Now there's no way I can get past this Medusa head on the right. By pushing him, I'll just get shot. So I have to push this block up first. I also need to shoot this guy up here in order to block the Medusa head, and I still need to have one shot left over for this guy. The fact that I need to have a shot left over for this guy also makes this difficult. Or not all. Nope, I still need to block that. And I can't run along the top because that Medusa head is just going to shoot me if I do. It might as well be a big block there, keeping me from going up. And there's no way I can push that slug up without getting shot either. So the only purpose for that slug is for me to push it down and get that heart. So I have to do this. I don't know what to do on this one. I'm kind of lost here. There's no way I can push that block above me here to the right without getting locked in there. And there's no way to get above it until I push that one aside. So this one has to go up. There's no other way to do this. Then if I come through this way, is there any other way to set up these blocks to get through? Something needs to go in that open space to block the Medusa head. And I don't have any shots until I get this. So I need that one first. Then we can set this up to go over to the left, or to the right, so that I can get that heart down there. We know that there's shots on this heart, so I'm going to put this one in position. I'm going to push you here. Grab that. Kind of doing the same thing, but I'm not really seeing how else I'm supposed to do this. What in the world am I supposed to do to get that one up top there? Was I supposed to block this spot? No, he just appears beneath me. I really don't know what I'm supposed to do to grab that one. I might just have to stop the episode here and come back to it. Alright, you know what? That's what we're gonna do. Sorry that there wasn't a climax to me solving this, but when we come back to this, I'm sure I'll have a solution to it. So if you like this kind of puzzling content and you may have figured this out yourself, leave me a comment down below, give the video a like, subscribe to see more of it in the future, and take care of yourself and take care of those around you. Bye-bye. Alright, between you and me, stream, we're gonna cheat on this. I'm gonna go look up a guide real fast. Oh man, listen to that music. Adventure of Lolo Guide Level 8 Room 4. Oh, it's struggling. Alright, we'll put this over here on the screen so you can see what I'm looking at. 8-4. Yep, this is the room. Move the I-10 EF to E10. Okay, so we're looking here. The I-10 to E10. Move the I-6 EF up to. The I-6 EF up to, okay. Move the G6 EF to K6. So the G6 to K6. So we're going to put that block in the corner. Get the K8 hearts. Gotcha. So we're going to push this over. We're going to push this up. We're going to come back around and push that over. Quickly move the H4 snaky. They're called snakies? Okay. Up 1. Move the EF right. Yep. Move the egg to D6. Alright, so we're going to push it down and push it into this hole over here. Move the E10, the one that we pushed here, to C10 to block that. So this one's eventually going to get all the way over here. And get the K1 heart. Wait, what? Never, oh, hold on, I missed a step here. Yeah, move it over to D6. Move the E10 to C10. Maneuver the E8, this one, to K2. Ah, so then we push this down and over. Then we can swing through here and push it up and then over and then up like that. Okay. So this block basically needs to do some world traveling. Quickly move the B7 snaky up 1 and then back down to B11. Get the A11, shoot the egg again, wait on B6. Wait here. When the snaky returns, move it to F11. Get the heart and shoot the egg again. Wait, what? Yeah, we moved the E2 snaky down and got the heart. When the snaky returns, move to F11. Get the heart and shoot the egg again. When the snaky returns, move... Oh! Okay, so we use the snaky to get these two on the bottom. Alright, and then when it comes back, we push it all the way up. Okay, yeah, that's super hard. Alright, well, welcome back to some more Adventures of Lolo. I think we now have the solution of what we're gonna do. Just move this over here. We're gonna move this up to block you. And then we're gonna come back around and use this block to stop this Medusa head and get this. Then what we'll do is push you up over down and use this slug boy to block that there. Then we'll use this block to stop the Medusa head. Then what we're going to do is use this block as such to get the top heart in the right corner here. There we go. Then this one also has shots for us. We've got you. And now it's just a matter of getting these last two. And how we're going to do that is get this, put it down here, and then shoot them away. And we're going to get above it. Push you over, down, and get you. Then blow it away. And then when he comes back, we should have everything we need to get up to the chest. Holy shit, that was super difficult. Difficulty spike on that one was extreme. But we're here, we're at room 5. So we've got a whole bunch of shooty things here. We got dragons, we got Medusa heads, we got demons, we got sleepy boys. Alright, let's just activate this to get things rolling here. So to grab that heart, we're going to have to put blocks in the way of the demon. And then that might be the last one we want to grab, honestly. But let's see. We can put this here and be safe. We can put this here and be safe. I think we're going to have to do it like this, though. And block you in. And then put you to sleep. Put you to sleep. So now with that in the way, we need to get these hearts on the side, most likely. Oh no, I pushed it too far! I didn't mean to push it that far. We're just gonna... there was latency. There was lag. There we go. There we go. Okay. Again, I think we're gonna need to hold on to that, so I'm not gonna grab that heart yet. I'm gonna push this up here. Maybe I'm supposed to... No. Why would they have sleepy boys on the top but not on the bottom? They're usually very symmetrical with this, so I feel like those are red herrings. You know? Or I'm supposed to run along with them, maybe. Okay, so we're gonna use this block so that we can push it all the way down here, which makes me think that this is probably the shot one. Yep, it is, of course. So we're gonna save that one in the bottom right instead, so that everything activates once we've grabbed these guys here. And then I guess we're just gonna have to run along the top here and hope that the sleepy boys protect us from the fire shots from the dragons. Alright, here we go. Are you ready? Perfect. Not bad. That one was way easier than the other one. Oh, that's it? We defeated the castle? Oh, alright. Well, that was pretty quick. Oh, we get a cutscene. On a boat. And we're going to this, water castle. Oh, no. Oh! Got fucked up. Oh, I forgot to go back to my special room. Oops. Well, that's fine. 4 different ones. I don't think we have a specific path for these, so I'm just gonna go clockwise. This is level 10. We were at 8 before, so never mind, they are numbered. Let's see which one's 9. This one. Oh boy. We got a bunch of skeleton head dudes. and a demon in the top right. So how are we going to do this? Well, oh no. Oh, I didn't see that that was a breakable block. Well, I was going to grab that heart to the left anyway last, so we're just going to put this guy in the corner immediately. Simplify things down. This heart's going to protect us if we go down here. I need to push you down and over. Alright, we did get some shots here. So I think I need to do this here, here, and get this. We did get some more shots, so I can go here, grab you, blow you away. Why did these ladders get to survive lava? I've got ladders before. They're giving me shoddy ladders. They got hot ladders. Alright, so now with this, we can come back over here. And if I wanted to be extra safe, I could do this. And now I'm fully protected. Not bad. Alright. So now we've got, I'm gonna guess the purple is the analog to trees, because otherwise that Medusa in the top left would be worthless. I do need to push things to the right to escape this. Nothing else is moving though. So I think I'll push this over once. Push you up. No, that kind of blocks that off. That's probably not what I should do. Probably. I can't go down until I get a heart. So I'm going to push this all the way over here and then push this one up. And use this one to block this Medusa head and grab this heart. It gives me 2 shots. Which means I can push this one up here. Block you. And push this one over here and block you to get this heart. These guys in the middle are relatively safe, but I don't know if they'll give me the power up, but I'm going to have to take it to escape. Okay, there we go. So do I want to go to the left or the right? I feel like I need to go over to the left here. And I have 2 shots. I can't take that heart right now. I can go all the way back around like this though. Oh, I think I needed to have it go this way so that I can get this block off the wall. Oh, not necessarily. Not necessarily. Okay, so here's what we'll do. We'll push you down. Block this off. Oh! Dumb. Okay. This is now going to be a bit of a test on which ones do we need to grab last, and I think that one above the chest needs to be the last heart, because once all these skulls activate and start running around, we're going to be in deep doo-doo. So I think this was the right way to start, because it does give me a block to push up on this Medusa head. I get that, which gives me 2 shots, and I need the shots to get past these guys. Except I did not pay attention to what I was doing. There we go. Now before I can grab any other ones, I have to get these ones out of the middle. And if I push this one, then I can move that block up and over to get it off the wall. And then I can push it down to block that Medusa head. So we'll try doing it like this, so that I can push you down here and all the way over, and then come over here. Oh, before we do that, we push you up. Over here, over, and down. So now I can grab this heart. That did give me extra shots on that one. Okay. But I basically need to get a block over here, because otherwise I can't depend on a skull to be there. Right, and it's probably something to do with this one. Alright, let's get back to the beginning and not push that block all the way over. So we can push that up, push that over. But I have to get out of here. And I can't go down, so that does need to go all the way over. There's nothing else. Otherwise, this one gets put up against the corner, and then there's no way to get it back from the corner. Well, I guess I'm losing one regardless. Is this one a worse one to lose than the corner one? I don't think so. Push you up and over. Push you over and up to get this one. They need a block. Okay, yeah. But then how do I get the one above? I'm focused on this one in the bottom left, and how do I get the one above it then? I have to put a block above that Medusa. So this block is the only block I really have to move. And if I push it down, I can't put it in position without fucking things up. So I need to push it to the left. Okay, so I was right the first time. Let's just do it like that. Like this. Except wrong. Like this. Like that. Then like this. Like that. There we go. Now we grab all the ones in the middle and flop that around. Then what we could do is push you up and through and down. And then we can push this one all the way over, and then block this Medusa head from the top. We can't grab that one on the bottom yet. We need something to go there. So what did I do wrong? Because I'm missing a part here. I've got that. That didn't even give me a shot. I feel like that very first block is part of the puzzle that I'm missing here. But there's no way to go below. If I push this up, even then, yeah, I feel like I have to do it this way. I have to get this heart, which gives me all the shots I need. That one in the bottom left didn't give me any shots. Did it though? Let's find out. It did give me shots, okay. So we can go ahead and get this one then. Flip that around. And then I can come at this one from this side, like that. Oh, shit. I forgot about that. Damn it. Now I'm regressing. Then if I'm doing it that way, how do I get that one blocked off on the right and bottom side? Alright, again, we gotta go with this. We gotta go with this. I gotta get through this. But then how do I get the one on the bottom? Because I feel like this is definitely the position that I need this block in order to win here. Because otherwise, if I have a skull beneath me, then that's not going to be good for getting this. It's going to start moving away and then I'm pretty much boned. We know that this one gives me more shots. This one down here, but I can't grab it until I put something in the way of this Medusa head. But I used all the blocks on the right side already. This one needs to get in place here, so I can grab that. Which means that I have these two as dead weight on the right side, and I need something to change there then. We have to do something different. But I just don't see how I'm supposed to do it. Because if I push this one up, if I put this one in the corner, I can't get those off the wall. They're touching the wall. That skull on the very far right side, as soon as anything gets on a wall, you can't push it off of it because that requires you to stand where the wall is. Let's see, if I push you up here, I push you here, I still don't have enough room. If I push this all the way up, this is now a dead block. There's no way to grab it again. If I grab these, I'm trapped because I did not get enough hearts to get the power up. So I have to push this all the way over. That's just, it's how it's gotta be. Then I can push this here and grab you. If I blow this guy out of the way and stand on top of it, maybe it goes somewhere else. Let's try that. No, that's not it either. I feel like all of this is necessary. And that. Is there a way for me to grab it and then blow away the skull before... That might be it. Okay, hold on. No! Damn it! There isn't a way. because I still need to cover that. Shit! Man, 2 big ol' stumpy puzzles back to back, basically. This might be one where we have to end on a incomplete. That might keep happening. Okay, here's what we're gonna do different this time though. We're gonna take you and push you down here. Put that like that. And push you down here. Now if I blow something away, I won't have any shots left. So maybe what I need to do is save this top right one for next to last. That might be it. Okay. And then that way I can blow that one away after grabbing the heart. Okay. Okay, we may have the solution then. May. I'm not going to say for sure. Push you up here like this. I do need to move this one out of the way, and I can't push it down without... Damn it. And I have to get one more heart before I get the power up. I can't just grab that one and then go into the center. So no, I have to push this one up against the top. There's no other way for it to go. I could push it out and then push it back over to the right, but then I can't push it, I still can't push it down without getting hurt, so I have to put this one here. Otherwise I can't grab this one. Otherwise I can't. I have to move it, and if I just push it to the left, that doesn't do me any good. So now that we're here, we pretty much have to grab these. I'm still going to turn this one because I want to get things from the right side to the left. That skull that's down there on the right here, I know it needs to go down to block that Medusa head and give us 2 more shots. I still feel like this is like close to what we need. And I need to push this guy up and around here, because I still think this is the best place for this block. And now we need to block the lower Medusa head. Let's get you. And then I'll see if I could do something with blocking its position, because this might be the one that needs to be moved somewhere else. Nope, it's just gonna appear. Oh, that kills me. That wasn't a reset, that was a kill. Wow. Alright, so sorry about that. This one was also pretty rough. We did get to see a cutscene though, which was nice, but I think we'll stop this one here and see what happens when we come back to it. So if you enjoyed this content, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of it in the future, subscribe. Got any tips or tricks for me, leave them in the comments down below. And until next time, take care of yourself and take care of those around you. Bye-bye. Okay. Can I open recent? Open recent? I can't. Lolo 3. Guide level 9, room 2. H8 all the way right. Move the J7 to K5. Yep. Get the heart. Move the G9 skull to B10. Yeah. Move the I7 skull all the way down. Okay. Get the B11 heart. So I get that heart first. Get the 3 central hearts and rotate the E6 arrow. Okay, so it's right on that. Move the F2 skull all the way to the right. Move the H7 EF through the arrows and down to B9. Yep, so I was right on that. Take the long way around to move it to A9. Yeah. Quickly move the C4 skull to C1. And get the H1 heart, and then shoot the egg again. And then push it over there. Gotcha. Alright, I'm going to quickly add this on to the end of the last episode so that we can at least get the climax to this puzzle. So it should be something like this. And then you here. And then you here. So we can get this one. I'm gonna grab these. Get that. The block was right. We push it here. I'm gonna push you over. Push you over. And what we do is go up here, get this, grab that, and push him out of the way. And there we go. All right. Finally. Now we can move on to the next level. Thank you. I. Okay, that segment's done. That was a little bit rough. Those puzzles got pretty hard pretty quick. But that's good. That's some thinking person's puzzles there. Okay, I still had that up over there. Get rid of you. And I think what we'll do is finish this off with just watching some fun stuff on the Reddits. What should it be though? Oh, yeah, you know what? Actually, I want to do some other stuff. I know nobody's been in here all day. I've just been waiting on people to chat and they haven't chatted yet, so I think Wednesday's just a slow day. You know what, let's just leave it at that. Not much to say. I know it's Groundhog's Day and stuff, so I think I'm just going to take a bow out and we'll head back to the screen cap room. Oh, not the screen cap, the chatting room. And we'll close this one out here. If you like this, give the video a like. If you want to see more of it in the future, subscribe. And take care of yourself. Take care of those around you. Have a good night.